The first question I asked you today is, what is the most prevalent mistake by a good player? Okay, and the answer to that question is the hip throw, where the hips go first. It allows you to lag the club, it allows you to get steeper to flatter, it allows you to approach from the inside, but because of the relative positioning of the hips to the top part of the body, it does not allow you to go around enough. Mm-hmm. And so from there, you're going to be hopelessly inside out, and the bottom of the arm is going to want to be behind it, so you hit one fat and five thin ones, and you won't be able to close it, so you'd have to add closure to make it go. Okay? When we tried to move the ball up here to 11 o'clock on the clock dial today to test to see how much rotation you had, when you put it over here, you topped the first couple because the hip throw wouldn't allow you to go get it. And it wasn't until you gave up completely on trying to hit a normal shot, you brought it over here and you went and got it, and then you hit it very high because you descended. You hit the ground very well because you were far enough around, and you had a tiny bit of hook because the club was closing the entire time, that you were able to trust that, oh, turning well makes me hit it solid, oh, turning well makes it rotate. Mm. The fact that it was a big pull, don't worry about that. Then the second thing is we put the ball back at 1 o'clock on the clock dial. You predicted that when you did that, the ball would start to the right of the target, but would slice because the club looks open, but actually it's square in relation to where 1 o'clock is. But what you forgot is that, see, if you have continuing rotation, the club is always going to be a little more closed later on than it was previous to that. But because you've been a hip thrower, maybe it wasn't. Maybe it wasn't turning and it wasn't going through. So the fact that you'd have to add closure from there is doing it. But then when you went to here, you were able to go ahead and start it right and hook it in without it to turn it over. Mm-hmm. But then when you went back to this one, you turned well, you hit the ground well, the rotation of the body hooked it. But because you didn't have enough lag, it was still a significant pull, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. At that moment, Clint, that's when the body would say, oh, I love that contact, I love the height, I love everything about it, but I need to swing a little more to the right to make it go in, and that's the wrong answer. So you have to continue to go around and realize that when you went around, the club must have caught up, you need to keep it farther behind you. So if you can actually practice a little with the club back there, which is a little unwieldy, I understand. I mean, you're going to tend to miss hit just because you're putting it in a funny spot. But the moment that you realize that if you're around here and the club's around this far, it's going to be too far left. See, I don't want you to be more here. I want you to be around here, and I want the club to be farther behind. I want it to be 2, 3, 4 horses back on the imaginary merry-go-round. And then you'll reach that point where you'll agree that the shoulders and the hands from here to here are going left, aren't they? But the club head is still going to the right, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So that's the big thing. That's what makes your heart correct. The funny thing about it is that in terms of the lag, it feels like you're trying to hit this ball, and it's going to start to the right for that reason. But then, once you're hitting this ball, you got to try to hit that ball in terms of the continuing rotation. Mm-hmm. So you can't think, oh, I'll go here, I'll be fine. That would make this one be okay, and you wouldn't get to that. You can't say, oh, I'm going to get to this one and let this uncock early. Can you get over here with your chest and leave the club far enough behind and still start to the right? Of course you can. Is it what you have done in the past? No, it is not. Mm-hmm. Okay? So that's why you need enough of this going back and forth to make it happen. My recommendation is to have 4 shots you hit. Number 1, go get this one first. Okay. Go get it. Get on top of it. Destroy the ground until you're hitting high, very solid ones that hit the ground well and hook gently. Then go to this one. Okay? Keep going on this until the ball starts to the right. Maybe it'll go a little lower than normal, but you feel like there's no rotation of the arms and hands, and it still wants to hook in because you're trying to get around to this place even though you're there. Then go to normal. And when you do that, if you turn properly and there's a slightest bit of uncocking too early, you'll hit it very solid. It won't start as far left as this one, but it'll still start left a little bit. Then finally, put it back to here and see if you can get the feel that the club is behind where your arm is to be able to make it go. Okay. When you can hit one from here that A starts right, B hooks in, and C hits the ground, then you get to go back here informed with how much lag would be the appropriate amount, and you can see how well you do in your new and improved lag position.
Awesome.
Okay? All right.